Welcome to the Rotary in Action podcast. We are here at Expo 2020 in the Rotary Majlis of Friendship. This is an establishment that was sponsored by the Association of Rotary Clubs of the UAE with the objective of bringing together Rotarians from all over the world to come together to share the spirit of giving. The Rotary in Action podcast has seen fantastic guests in the past, and our objective is to really bring on change makers and visionaries with a mindset of giving more than they get. And today we have a very special guest with us. Rashed Al Mohtadi is a proud member of the Rotary Club of Dubai. He is passionate about connecting the world of sports and philanthropy through Jalila Foundation, where he serves as the manager of partnerships and sustainability. Jalila Foundation is a non-profit medical and healthcare philanthropic organization that was founded by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashed Al Maktoum, Vice President and Prime Minister of the UAE and ruler of Dubai. Jalila Foundation supports medical treatment for individuals unable to afford quality healthcare. They are currently in the process of building a cancer charity hospital which focuses on treatment of every category of cancer. This will be the first comprehensive cancer charity hospital in the UAE. Absolutely. Thank you for joining us, Rashid. It's such a privilege to have you in the Rotary in Action podcast.
Thank you so much, David. This is a lovely setup, and I honestly think you're going to take this podcast into great places, bringing all these visionaries and change makers on board. So proud to be part of it.
Thank you so much. You know what? I want to find out a little bit more about who you are. What is your background before you joined Jalila Foundation?
Absolutely. So thank you for the introduction. So my name is Rashed Al Mohtadi. I'm an Emirati national. I'm 32 years old. I currently work at Jalila Foundation, as you mentioned, in the partnerships and sustainability team, where I help grow different initiatives and bring in new partners.
Fantastic. And what were you involved in before you joined Jalila Foundation?
So I did my undergrad studies in London, where I specialized in international business and finance. I was fortunate enough to enroll in a dual degree program that they offered at the time, whereby I had a double bachelor's, both in international business and finance. After my studies in London, I came back to Dubai and worked for my first company, Emirates NBD. I served there as a manager in funds and distribution, where I handled different channels, both on the retail side, investment channels on the retail side, and on the institutional side. Yeah, I spent almost 9 years there at Emirates NBD, and it was one of the longer sort of stints in my career, and I'm very grateful to have had that job for sure.
What drew you to another part of the world of finance, which is the giving part, the foundation part? What drew you to here?
Absolutely. I was always into connecting people and finding ways to giving back to the community. I think, before CSR became such a big impact after the pandemic, I always wanted to find ways to contribute, to connect people, and to support certain causes that were near and dear to me. At this part of my job, the return on investment is much higher, in my opinion, where I help, raise funds and awareness for certain causes and programs.
We're keeping that in mind. One of the things that I really want to understand is, from what I understand about Emiratis, they have a heart for service. They always give back to the community. And leading up to that, I want to ask you about the Mohammed bin Rashed Al Maktoum Global Initiatives. Can you tell me a little bit about what you know about it?
Absolutely. So the MBRGI, or Mohammed bin Rashed Global Initiatives, is a philanthropic foundation that consists of over 30 initiatives. They focus on 5 pillars, of which we fall under the healthcare and disease control pillar. So our foundation sits under that pillar.
So you're a part of Jalila Foundation, and you shifted over because of the good work and the potential that this foundation has. And I understand that there's a treatment program that provides financial medical assistance to UAE-based patients in need. Can you explain about this project?
Absolutely. So Awan is part of our treatment pillar, and what we do is we provide financial assistance for patients in need of medical treatment.
For free?
Absolutely. So the word Awan in Arabic means support. They can simply reach out to us and apply for this treatment program, Awan. There's a few basic criteria they have to meet. Just provide us with some basic documents, bank statements, and prove to us that they can't financially afford the particular treatment that they're after. And the turnaround time is generally very short. We get back to them, and alhamdulillah, we've treated almost 300 cases last year.
That's really, really wonderful, because I've seen WhatsApp messages and forwards of this person in this hospital needs help. Can the community come together? So are you looking for those kind of messages? And how do you get this information about patients who need this help?
So our treatment program, Awan, is available for all residents in the UAE of all nationalities. And as I mentioned, we have different marketing campaigns that we do to get the message out there. And for those that haven't heard of the program, maybe they can now on your show and hear about it. But definitely our program is available for all residents in the UAE, and we cover their financial treatment.
How far do you go with supporting if it's a serious case?
So for insured patients, sometimes we partially cover their treatment. If they're missing out on 20-30% of their treatment, we cover the remainder. For some uninsured patients, we cover 100% of the treatment. So it varies case to case.
That's a big blessing, and it'll be a great news for people in need.
Absolutely.
I hope we can find 3,000 more, because I know there are people in need in the hospitals.
Inshallah.
The main project from the Al Jalila Foundation, which is upcoming, is the Hamdan bin Rashid Cancer Charity Hospital. Can you tell me about how this idea started, where it is now, and what is the path forward?
Absolutely. So this project initially started as a general charity hospital. The idea was to have a general charity hospital in the UAE. However, after sitting with our consultants and speaking with them, they advised us to take the specialized route, to make it a specialized charity hospital, as it has a higher rate of success abroad. After reviewing our Awan patients and seeing what diseases are prominent within the patients that we receive, we noticed that 1 in 6 patients are suffering from cancer. Our treatment budget, a big chunk of the treatment budget and research budget goes towards cancer. We then reviewed the numbers in the UAE and saw that 4,500 new cases of cancer are coming up every year in the country. And it is the third leading cause of death in the UAE as well, unfortunately. All arrows pointed towards cancer as a disease to be specialized in. And we took this forward, and with the blessing of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashed Al Mohtadi, we proceeded and started with the planning. The hospital was then given the name Hamdan bin Rashid, may he rest in peace, after the late Sheikh Hamdan bin Rashed Al Mohtadi. And initially, the project was designed to start in 3 phases. Phase 1 being 50 beds, phase 2 150, and phase 3 250. But having visionary leaders like His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, we have always long-term thinking as part of our objectives. And he green-lighted it to start at 250-bed hospitals, having a vision for the future and to handle a capacity of more patients and to be able to treat more patients. The objective, inshallah, is to be able to treat with 250 beds almost 30,000 patients a year, inshallah. So with a bigger project and a 250-bed hospital, we needed a bigger plot of land, and His Highness granted us 50,000 square meters of land in Al Jaddaf, which is Healthcare City Phase 2. Inshallah, we plan to start groundbreaking in Q3 of this year, and the hospital should be up and running in 2024, God willing. And alhamdulillah, with the help of our circle of trustees, our foundation managed to raise 350 million dirhams out of an expected 750 million. And we look forward to closing in on that number, inshallah, very soon. So for the Cancer Charity Hospital, the main core pillars around the hospital is research, or the core support system around the hospital is the research, because we have the sort of advantage of having our Mohammed bin Rashid Medical Research Institute, which you visited, as a supportive system to the hospital, so we can do our clinical trials over there at our research facility. This will definitely help with the Cancer Charity Hospital, as research is a integral part of any success of a hospital.
I visited this lab, which is on the topmost floor of the building.
Yes.
And it's absolutely pristine, and it's unlike any other lab I've seen.
Yes, absolutely.
And so what is the objective of this at the moment?
So one of the objectives of our foundation, David, is to put the UAE at the forefront of medical innovation. And it's with projects like these that our foundation aspires to achieve that, inshallah. Another huge benefit to having a comprehensive cancer hospital in the UAE is that cancer is a tiresome disease as it is, and we don't want to add more pressure on patients. And this is the solution that we want to provide them, which is sort of a one-stop shop to have all their treatment done there. And it won't just be for treatment; it's for diagnosis, for prevention. The hospital is going to be a fully comprehensive hospital for cancer patients. It's going to be a fully comprehensive care hospital. So this is an additional reason of how it's very important for us to have this hospital here in the UAE, and why it will be the first comprehensive care charity hospital in the country.
How can a common man make donations toward this foundation and be a part of this hospital that's coming up?
So we're a very easygoing, approachable foundation. Today, if you go on our website and find the different causes or programs that you want to support, you can just click on the cause you want to support, what program you want to donate towards, select the method of payment, and that's about it. Very, very easy to do that.
How has the donations been so far?
We wanted to find a way to give recognition to our donors and to continuously support the research, because research as part of our pillars is very important in our foundation. So we found a way to give them that recognition through building the first of its kind donor recognition wall that uses AI technology. We called it Basmat Rashed bin Saeed. Basma means fingerprint in Arabic, and Sheikh Rashed bin Saeed, may he rest in peace, was the vice president and ruler of Dubai. He was very well known for his philanthropic efforts and his charitable nature, so we named it in his honor and his memory. This wall has a robotic arm attached to it, and it has an inbuilt camera within that robotic arm. Now, the arm laser engraves the donor's name onto the wall upon making the donation online, and the camera records the name as it's being engraved and sends it to the donor's email after engraving it, as a memento video and a memory for him to have if he's not physically able to come and see his name on the wall.
So Rashid, from the little time that I've got to know you, I know that you are super passionate about sports, and you are very involved in the philanthropic area in UAE. Can you help me understand your vision to bring these two worlds together at Al Jalila Foundation?
Yes, for sure. So sports and philanthropy go hand in hand. As we discussed, David, it's sort of match made in heaven, in my opinion. Today, athletes have a platform where they can raise awareness about certain causes or voice out certain concerns that we're facing in society today. And this platform is perfect to raise awareness about certain initiatives, programs that foundations are working on. We see that already in different matches, football matches, for example. You have ahead of the match, different color armbands are worn by football players to represent certain causes, be it cancer, diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, mental health. You have charity matches for boxing, in MMA. In UFC, for example, you have, after the fight, a fighter donates a signed glove or his shirt towards a specific foundation to support a cause. And I think our foundation realized that, and we're getting to explore this area more. And thankfully, last year we appointed our official sports ambassador, ex-Real Madrid football player and legend, Michel Salgado, who will be representing our foundation as our official sports ambassador. And he'll help us navigate these waters and guide us towards, better connecting our causes, our programs, and how we can get these initiatives more connected into these different events and different sports. We recently also had a visit from legendary MMA coach Javier Mendez, who coached UFC legend Khabib Nurmagomedov. And, he visited us and had so many ideas of ways that we can collaborate, initiatives we can work on together, and was very helpful and supportive of our foundation, and is backing us, or is in our corner rather, as our coach as well for our foundation, and has given us so many different ideas and opportunities that we can explore, inshallah, in the very near future. So we absolutely look forward to gaining more awareness, more information of how to better use this connection between sports and philanthropy for our foundation, to promote our programs and our initiatives and to reach our goals, inshallah.
So Rashid, during your educational period, do you think there were any moments in time that really made you turn around and look and say, I've grown, I've turned into a better person? Do you have any instances in time that has made you look back and say, wow, this really changed me?
Absolutely. So I always say this, I personally think the UAE's best investment it's made in its citizens is putting us in this military service together, because it's taught us so much, from patience, perseverance, tolerance. It's taken us completely by surprise. And I think it's the one way that we were able to gather, people from Ras Al Khaimah, from Sharjah, Al Quwain, Fujairah, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Ajman, all these different emirates, and bring them all into sort of one area and just be faced with each other. Different, cultures, different backgrounds, different schooling, different education, different walks of life. And it really brought us very close together.
What was your first week like?
Very grueling, very tough.
Tell me about it.
Absolutely. I mean, it's divided into different phases. I'm fortunate enough to have served in 2015, where the duration was 9 months. It's currently 1 year and 6 months. So I think I got the better end of that deal. But you make friendships for life there. I think this is the best achievement from this service. Other than learning, the patience and the toughness, and obviously the military acumen that we acquired there, or know-how. But it's the friendships, the brotherhood that's made there that I think lasts an eternity.
Where do you think you will be in 5 years with regard to your involvement with Al Jalila Foundation?
I want to be part of the growth of this foundation, inshallah. So Al Jalila Foundation focuses on transforming lives. That is what I want to focus on doing for the next 5 years. Definitely is help transform lives, whichever way I can, whether it be through raising awareness for our programs, partnering with different companies for different campaigns, through the sports element of it, and linking that with philanthropy. Whichever way I think is definitely part of my goals, is to be part of the process, seeing this foundation accomplish its goals. And we're very blessed, to be living in a country like this again, with the leadership that we have. And we have, role models all around us. And inshallah, I aspire to see that, to see this foundation achieve its full potential and be part of it.
If you would like to give the audience, the general public of the UAE, a message from Al Jalila Foundation, what would that message be?
Support our foundation, learn about the causes that we support, our programs, to be aware of what we do. That's the key message, is to get across what we do as a foundation. Support our foundation, support our causes, help us tackle these issues, and be part of the journey.
Excellent. Thank you so much for joining the Rotary in Action podcast.
Thank you so much.
You have our wholehearted support from Rotary International towards your foundation. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure being here. Thank you, David. Thank you. Pleasure being here.